Testing, testing. Hello and welcome in to the first home game of the 2026 PGL season for your Auburn Doubledays. Hello, my name is Evan Carocchio, welcoming you into this season. I will be joined today alongside Ryan, who is my partner. He will chime in at times. We unfortunately are having some technical difficulties in the booth, so we apologize for any camera issues, any mic issues, or if the score bug appears or goes away at times. But let's meet the players right now for the Auburn Doubledays, who are playing the Geneva Red Wings tonight. On the bump for the Auburn Doubledays, that's number 17, Matthew Chofé. The Doubledays are in their home white and blue uniforms with an American flag on the back. The Geneva Red Wings are in their dark gray and red uniforms with a American flag on their back. Stepping up to the box for the Geneva Red Wings, that's number 29, J.C. Gamble. First pitch is on the way for the Doubledays, and the first pitch of the season is taken for a strike. Gamble watches that one looking. 0-1 count to J.C. Gamble. The pitch. This one's going to be hit short over towards third base. Throw to first is in time for the first out. That's a 5-3 put out in the books as Gamble is retired. Noah Company due up to the plate. He's the right fielder tonight for the Geneva Red Wings. Let's take a look at the Doubledays infielders from left to right. At third base over there, that's Chase Moore. Shortstop, that's Jaden Madrid. Second base, William Ragland. And first base, Braden Michelson. First pitch is taken for a strike. 0-1 count to Noah Company. And out in the outfield, at left field, that's Colin Hogg. And center field, that is George Farley. Right field, that's Teddy Monahan. That one is taken for a ball. Count is tied at 1-1 with one out. To the lefty, Noah Company. The pitch. Watches that one go by. Count is 1-2. Beautiful first game tonight. Almost 80 degrees. 6:25 first pitches were thrown. Lights are already on. Perfect day for opening day. And swinging and missing at that one is Company. The throw to first is in time, and that is a strikeout for the Doubledays pitcher, Matthew Chofé. His first of the season. A swinging strikeout as Company is retired. Andrew Hossman due up to the plate. He's the EH, or righty, wearing number 18. He steps up to the box. He's set. The pitch from Chofé on the way. That is taken for a strike. Watching that one is Hossman. The pitch. That one's taken for a strike, and just like that, the count is 0-2. 2 strikes with 2 outs. Chofé looking for another strikeout here. This would be huge for him. The 0-2 on the way, and this one gets past the catcher for the Auburn Doubledays, Jake Bentivanga. Count is 1-2. No one on, so no damage done. On deck batter collects that one, tosses it to the Doubledays bullpen. So like I said, the count is 1-2. The pitch on the way. Strike 3. Backwards K in the books for Chofé. He picks up 2 strikeouts, 3 up, 3 down. No hits, no run. A backwards K to end the inning. We're going to make our way to the Doubledays at bats. But not sure how much of what I said was being heard. As I said, we are having technical difficulties. My name is Evan Carocchio, and we'll be right back for the bottom of the first inning. Bottom of the first inning, score is 0-0. Quick 1-2-3 down for the Geneva Red Wings. That means the Doubledays at bats are due up, and leading off for the Auburn Doubledays, that's number 5, the shortstop, Jaden Madrid. He's going to face off against the Red Wings pitcher number 22, Lane Whiting. First pitch on the way, and that is taken for a strike. Count is 0-1 from Whiting. The pitch. This one's going to be fouled down the first base side, and foul ball. Stays fouled. Just like that, it's 0-2. Jaden Madrid from Emmanuel University is a D2 player looking for his first hit for the Doubledays season, looking to get things going for the Doubledays. The 0-2 watches that one in the turf dirt. 1-2 count. Madrid set in the box. The 1-2 on the way. Chops at that one, hit towards shortstop. Throw to first. Not in time. He's safe, and that gets past the first baseman. There he goes to second, showing off his wheels. It's a single, and then he goes to second off of an error, and there is your first hit of the season for the Auburn Doubledays. Jaden Madrid picks up a single. Single and an error. That will bring up William Ragland. Where's number 4? He's playing second base tonight. Steps in the box. Already off of second is Madrid. The pitch. This one's taken for a ball. From left to right out in outfield, that's J.C. Gamble in left field. Right field, Noah Company. And center field, Dylan Briggs. Dancing off of second, Madrid got the attention of the pitcher. This one's going to be hit into center field and drops for a base hit. Being waved home is Madrid. The throw into home, though, is not in time. He's safe. Wow. First run of the season for the Auburn Doubledays in the first inning. 2 hits, 1 run scored, an RBI single for William Ragland to score Jaden Madrid. Back-to-back hits for the Auburn Doubledays with no outs. They get things going early on. Colin Hogue is due up to the plate. The pitch. This one's called strike. 0-1 count. So already 1-0 Auburn Doubledays. 2 hits, an error by the Red Wings defense. Off of first is Ragland. Whiting giving him a look. The pitch. And this one's taken for a ball. 2-0 count. Ragland already off of first. Keeping him close over there is John Mendola. The pitch. And this one is taken for a ball. Gives up back-to-back hits, and now he's working with a 3-0 count. He's going to take his time before this next pitch clears his mind. Ragland off of first still. Mendola keeping him close. The throw over to first, not in time. Good dive back by Ragland. And now let's meet the infield from left to right for the Red Wings. Over at third base, that's Michael Mucci. Shortstop, Christopher Gonzalo. Second base, Josh Ailman. And over at first is John Mendola. And this one is taken for a ball, I believe. Was there no call from the home plate umpire? So that was taken for a strike, apparently. It is 3-1. The pitch. And there goes the runner to second. No throw, but doesn't matter. It's ball 4. Ragland on second base. A runner in scoring position again. And that's a walk given up. by Lane Whiting. The pitch. That is taken for a strike. The pitch. That's taken for a ball. Counts tied at 1-1. Runners on first and second, 1-0 Doubledays. If you're just joining us, I'm Evan Carocchio. Beautiful day for a home opener for the Doubledays. This one's taken for a ball, but that's a good stop there by the catcher for the Red Wings to make sure runners don't go anywhere. This one's going to be hit and will go into right field for a base hit. Being waved home is Ragland. No throw, and that's a single for Luke Guire. 3 hits in the bottom of the first inning for the Auburn Doubledays, making it a 2-0 ball game. Ragland scores from second. Hogg is on third. Luke Guire is on first with a single, and Teddy Monahan is due up to the plate. He's playing right field. He's a righty, working with runners on the corners. No one out. 3 hits for the Doubledays, 2-0 them. The pitch, and that one's a ball. Good stop there again from the catcher, Caden Couts. But the Doubledays are making noise early on already with 3 hits. The pitch, and that's taken for a ball. Couts fake throw over to first. Keeping Guire close is Mendola. Both runners off the pitch, and this one's going to be ripped and will be back and out of here. A home run for Teddy Monahan, the right fielder. 3 RBI home run. The Doubledays fans are on their feet. What an impressive first inning for the Auburn Doubledays. That one was smacked over the left field wall. 5 runs given up in the first by Lane Whiting. Monahan got that one right in the sweet spot and sent that one flying. An impressive home run from him for his first hit for the Doubledays season. Guire scores, Hogg scores, bases cleared, 5-0 Doubledays. What an impressive bottom of the first inning of play for the Auburn Doubledays to make a statement at home. Here's Braden Michelson. Whiting is trying his curveball right now. Unfortunately, has given up back-to-back balls, so the count is 2-0 to the righty Michelson. The pitch. There's the fastball. That one's taken for a ball. Count is 2-1. Umpire holds up. The pitch. This one swung on and missed. Count is 2-2. Whiting would love a strikeout here. He's ahead in the count. The pitch. No budge from the home plate umpire. Count is full. The pitch, and this one swung on and missed. Down swinging goes Braden Michelson for the first out for the Auburn Doubledays in the bottom of the first. And the first strikeout of the year for Lane Whitting. Here's Jake Bentivanga. He's the catcher tonight for the Auburn Doubledays, wearing number 27. He's a righty. First pitch from Whitting, a curveball, stays high. It's a ball upstairs. Bentivanga plays for the University of Rochester D3 school. Sophomore next season. Watches that one for a ball. Count is 2-0. The pitch. This one is taken for a ball. Count is 3-0 to Bentivanga. The pitch. 4-0. Nothing in the zone. Picking up a walk is Bentivanga. He'll be on first with one out. And calling time is the Red Wings head coach. That's Kyle French, making his first season as head coach for the Red Wings. Last year he was a part of the Newark Pilots coaching staff. An enthusiastic young coach who's excited about this season, just going out there to calm down his starting pitcher. 5-0 Auburn Doubledays. A 3-run home run over the left field wall really opened this one up. And let me tell you, Teddy Monahan got all of that one in a bag of chips to pick up his first hit on the season and pick up his first set of RBIs. Doubledays fans already loving how this season is going. Making his way to the box, that's number 30, Brendan Smith, the DH. Off of first is Bentivanga. The pitch to Smith is high and gets away from the catcher, and making his way to second base off of a wild pitch is Bentivanga. That's already a runner in scoring position for the Doubledays off of a walk given up by Whitting. Well, Doubledays fans, if you're familiar with Brendan Smith, that's because he is a returnee. He was here last season. He's DHing tonight. The pitch to him. This one's taken for a strike, just at the knees. Counts tied at 1-1. Steps back in the box. Brendan Smith listed as a utility player. He can do it all. Last season he played the outfield a lot. Pitch to him. This one's going to be roped down the left field line, and it is a fair ball, and that will score with ease. Bentivanga, and going in a second with a stand-up double is Brendan Smith. Found the line down left field, and he gets a stand-up double. Coach for the Doubledays loves that one, and it's 6-0 Auburn. The second extra base hit of the inning for the Doubledays. And that will bring up George Farley. The pitch on the way. It's called a strike. Oh, 1 count. Runner off of second, that's Smith. Whitting giving him a look. Comes set, kick steals the pitch. Another curveball that cannot find the zone. Counts tied at 1-1. George Farley plays for the University of Rochester D3 school. Sophomore season from Austin, Texas. Standing in the box at 6'2". Looking for a base hit here. The pitch to him. Upstairs for a ball. Count is 2-1. Whitting getting his sign from his catcher. Gives the runner a look at second. Kick steals the pitch. This one's fouled back our way against the screen. Just like that, count is tied at 2-2. Still only one out. 4 hits for the Doubledays. Two count on the way. Let's see who wins this deal. The pitch. And that is taken for a ball downstairs. Count is full at 3-2. Whitting comes set. The 3-2 on the way. And that's inside for ball 4. And Farley knew it right away. He's going to make his way towards first base. And that's the second walk given up by Whitting. Chase Moore, the third baseman, due up to the plate for the Auburn Doubledays. He's a lefty. He wears number 15. He's from Alcorn State University from Lexington, Kentucky. The pitch taken for a strike right down the middle. Count is 0-1. Both runners off their bases. The pitch on the way. And this one's going to be ripped towards left field. And it drops for a base hit. Making his way towards home is Brendan Smith. Being waved home is George Farley. 2-run stand-up double for Chase Moore. 8-0 Auburn Doubledays. Wow. And just like that, the lineup has flipped over already in the bottom of the first for the Auburn Doubledays. 8-0 off of 5 hits. And still only 1 out. So here's someone we've met already. That's Jaden Madrid. Hit for a single, then advanced to second off of an error. And that pretty much kind of went downhill from there for the Red Wings. Because it was him getting on that scored the first run thanks to a Raglan single, a walk, single, and then a 3-run home run. So, the ready Madrid steps into the plate. Already batting 1,000 on the season. Off of second is Moore. Giving him a look is Whitting. The 0-0. Downstairs for a ball. The pitch. That's taken for a strike inside. Counts tied at 1-1. So off of second is Moore. This one's going to be hit toward the shortstop who collects it. Throw to first will be in time for the second out. So Madrid got a single, and then he is put out by the shortstop. That's a 6-3 ground out for the second out. And with that, that'll bring up William Raglan. Raglan, as we talked about, hit for a single already in this inning and scored. He's dealing with 2 outs, runner on second. The pitch. That's a ball, and going to third is Moore, and that's a wild throw, and he will go home and score with ease. Stolen base for Chase Moore, then a wild throw down to try to get this speedy Chase Moore. Goes over the third baseman glove. 9-0 Auburn Doubledays. Wow. I mean, what an eventful inning already in the first game of the season for the Auburn Doubledays. The pitch, and this one's going to be popped up, foul territory, first base side, out of play. That's a souvenir for the young fans here at Falcon Park. The count is now tied at 1-1. The pitch, and that one just completely gets away from winning. Count is 2-1. Umpire also signifies the count is 2-1. Still in the box is Ragland. The pitch, taken for a ball upstairs. Count is 3-1. The pitch, called strike down the middle. Watching that one is Ragland, working with a full count. A strikeout here would be huge for Whitting to get out of this monstrous inning. The full count pitch on the way, and this one's going to be fouled back against the net our way. Count is still full. On deck is Colin Hogg. The pitch, inside and downstairs for ball 4. Ragland reaches first base twice already in this bottom of the first, and Kyle French is making his way out there to go talk to Lane Whitting, and it looks like that will be it for Lane Whitting. He leaves this one, giving up 9 earned runs. He leaves with 2 outs, gave up 5 hits. His defense behind him, however, did have 2 errors. His teammates out there to cheer him on, however, cheer him up. Obviously not an ideal start for him whatsoever, but he did pitch well. Doubleday's bats are just extremely hot right now. So French pulls Whitting. Like I said, his night is done. Geneva makes the call to the bullpen. And we'll be right back in a minute as a new pitcher will warm up for the Red Wings. We're back, still for some action in the bottom of the first inning. That's number 5, Nolan Hudson, out there replacing Lane Whitting. He will face off against someone who already batted in this one, Colin Hogg. So we're replacing our camera right now. The pitch, and that one almost clips the righty. He had to move out of the way of that one. So first pitch of the season for Nolan Hudson is a ball inside. Off of first base still is Ragland. Hudson gives the runner a look, comes set, kick steals the pitch, and there goes the runner to second. Throw down, not in time. A stolen base for William Ragland, as that is another runner in scoring position for the Auburn Doubledays. William Ragland showing off his wheels, doing a stolen base celebration off of second base. Count is 2-0. Hudson has yet to find the zone. Giving Ragland a look off of second. The pitch, and that one is inside. "3-0 count to the righty. The pitch. Called strike. 3-1. There's the first strike of the season for Hudson. Nolan Hudson from Eureka College, hometown of Spencer, Indiana. As swinging and missing at that one is Hogg. And that's another stolen base for William Ragland. That guy is showing off his wheels right now. Not even an attempt to try to get Ragland stealing. But count is full with 2 outs. The pitch, and this one's fouled back. Staying alive is Haw. On deck is Luke Guire. Still a full count approach. The pitch from Hudson, taken for a ball upstairs. That's a walk given up by Nolan Hudson. Luke Guire due up to the plate, 9-0 ball game. He's a lefty. We've seen him already. Hit for a single, then scored, dealing with runners on the corners. Dancing off of first is Hogg. The pitch is taken for a ball just outside. Runners off. The pitch. And there goes the runner to second. No throw. That's a stolen base for Colin Hogg. No throw there from Caden Couts. Didn't even attempt to get to Speedy Hogg. So that's 2 runners in scoring position with 2 outs. 2-0 count to the lefty Guire. The pitch. Upstairs for a ball. Count is 3-0. The pitch. And this one's going to be fouled back. Count is 3-1. Luke Guire from the University of Delaware. That's a D1 college. Hometown, Bordentown, New Jersey. The pitch to him. And this one's going to be fouled back well out of play. Almost into the parking lot here at Falcon Park. Count is full. And we've seen this already from Hudson, who lost the last at-bat battle, giving up a walk. Guire set in the box. Hudson comes set. Not even going to give the runners a look. Comes set, kick steals the pitch. That's another walk given up by Hudson. Bases are loaded. And that is not the guy that you want to up to the plate, folks. That's Teddy Monahan, who had that 3-run home run shot to make it a 5-0 game. He's working with a 9-0 game, 2 outs, runners on, and so far for the Geneva pitchers, it's been back-to-back-to-back walks given up. Off of first is Guire. The pitch. Outside and downstairs for ball 1 to Teddy Monahan. Teddy also plays for the University of Rochester from Wayne, Pennsylvania. The 1-0 to him, and this one's going to be popped up, out of play. That one ricochets off the roof of the concession stand. Bases still loaded, 1-1 count, 2 outs, 9-0 Doubledays. They have 9 hits, a long bottom of the first inning here at Falcon Park. The pitch, called strike down the middle. Count is 1-2. Just found the inside corner of the plate. Hudson working with a 1-2 count. Would love a strikeout here. The pitch, and that one's going to be chopped on and hit short down the third base line. The throw to first is not in time and gets away. 1 run scores. There's another. Another run is being waved home. There's the throw into home. And he's called out, but the damage has been done. 2 runs come in off of an error from the third baseman for the Red Wings, Michael Mucci. 11-0 Auburn Doubledays. 3 errors for the Red Wings defense. Wow, what a huge first inning of play for the Auburn Doubledays. That error scored 2 runs. We are going to make our way to the top of the second. 11-0 already. Doubledays making a statement in their first game. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We're back for the top of the second inning. The damage has been done. If you're just joining us now, it's 11-0 Auburn Doubledays. That's right. Through 1 full inning, they score 11 runs. And pretty much the damage was done off of a 3-run home run. And due up to the plate for the Geneva Red Wings, that's the first baseman, number 28, John Mendola. He's going to face off against Matthew Chofei, who had a phenomenal first inning. He went 3 up, 3 down, no hits, no runs. The pitch, and that's called strike down the middle. Chofei kick steals the pitch, and this one swung on a miss, and there's a strikeout for Matthew Chofei. His 3rd on the game already as Mendola watches that one just miss his bat for a strikeout swinging. Grant Ingram, the DH, is due up to the plate for the Geneva Red Wings. He's a righty, looking to get the first hit of the season for the Red Wings. That one is called strike. Grant Ingram listed as a utility player from Greeley, Alabama. That one's a ball. Counts tied at 1-1. Time is 7:05. That was a half-hour full first inning. That one's in the ground. Count is 2-1. The 2-1 pitch on the way. And this one is called a ball. Count is 3-1. Another ball here would be the first walk of the season given up by Matthew Chofay. And stepping out and calling time is Grant Ingram. On deck for the Red Wings, that's Dylan Briggs. So 3-1 count, 1 out. Kick steals the pitch, and this one's cut on and fouled back our way against the net. Briggs will grab that one. Count is full at 3-2. The pitch on the way, and that one is high for ball 4. Grant Ingram Dylan Briggs due up to the plate, working with 1 out and 1 runner on. Briggs wearing number 3, listed as the center fielder tonight for the Red Wings. Would love a hit here to advance the runner. The pitch. And that one's high and will get past the catcher for the Doubledays, Ventavanga. And just like that, off of a wild pitch, moving to second with ease is Grant Ingram. And there is the first runner in scoring position for the Red Wings on the game and on the season. And Ventavanga will go out there to calm down his starting pitcher. Just walking out there, calming him down, telling him, hey, it's not a big deal. It's only 1-0. Dylan Briggs from Montclair St. College from Middletown, New Jersey. Pitch to him. He cuts on and misses that one. Working with a 1-1 count. Count is tied. Off of second base is Ingram. Giving him a look is Chofay. The pitch. Called strike. Inside corner of the plate. Count is 1-2. Chofay winning this one. One and two count to the righty Briggs. He steps in the box. He's set. Chofay set. Gives the runner a look. The pitch. Wow, that one was disgusting. It just missed a breaking ball. That one had phenomenal movement to it. Looked like it was controlled by a remote control. Counts tied at 2-2. Chofay comes set. Kick steals the pitch. Strike 3. Home plate umpire rings him up. Down looking goes Dylan Briggs. The 4th strikeout on the game for Matthew Chofay. He has had an electric start so far through this one. Caden Couch due up to the plate. The catcher had a very busy bottom of the first inning against the Doubledays Bats. He's working with a runner in scoring position and 2 outs. Alrighty, wearing number 19. And Chofay will come off the rubber to go talk to his catcher. Ventavanga, Chofay talking to each other, trying to understand their signals. Couch set in the box. The pitch. And that one just misses upstairs. pitch, and this one's cut on and missed. Counts tied at 1-1. Chofei comes set, kick steals the pitch, and this one's a breaking ball. It will go hit into right field and making the easy grab out there in right field for the third out is Teddy Monahan. And just like that, no hits were given up, no runs given up. 4 strikeouts on the game so far for Matthew Chofei. 11-0 Doubledays. We're going to make our way to the bottom of the second inning. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Bottom of the second inning, 11-0 ball game. If you're just joining us, I'm Evan Croce, welcoming you into the Auburn Doubledays home opener at Falcon Park. Time is 7:13. A long bottom of the first inning. Doubledays score 11 off of 5 hits. 2 errors for the Red Wings defense, none for the Doubledays. 2 up to the plate right now for the Auburn Doubledays. That's Braden Michelson. Struck out in the first. Only one to not get on first base safely so far in this one. Wearing number 22, he's playing first base tonight. He's going to face off against the righty, Nolan Hudson, who got out of a monster bottom of the first inning. The pitch. That one's called a ball. Hudson comes set. The pitch on the way. And that's taken for a ball. Three, 1 count to Michelson. The pitch. And this one's going to be cut on and fouled over towards the Red Wings bullpen. Counts full. Hudson gets his signs from his catcher, comes set, kick steals the pitch. And this one's cut on and missed, and that's back-to-back strikeouts for Braden Michelson, both swinging. But that's huge for Nolan Hudson as he picks up the first out here in the bottom of the second. And here's the catcher, Jake Benavanga. He walked, advanced to second off a wild pitch, and scored in the busy first inning. He's looking to get on again. Hudson kick steals the pitch, and this one's fouled back against the net. On deck is Brendan Smith for the Doubledays as the pitching coach for the Red Wings collects that one. The pitch. Slider just misses upstairs. Jake Benevanga, as we talked about, plays for D3 University of Rochester. He's from Illinois. The pitch. Another breaking ball slider. This time it finds the zone. Count is 1-2. The pitch. And this one's high, and ducking out of the way of that one is Benevanga. Count is tied at 2-2. Benevanga is going to be a sophomore next season for Rochester. Had a .269 batting average this season. Pitch to him, cuts and misses at that one. That's another strikeout in the books for Hudson, as Benevanga is retired. And Benevanga doing his due diligence, talking to Brendan Smith about the pitches, trying to calm down the due-up batter, talking about Hudson's pitches. As we talked about, Brendan Smith, the DH, hit for a stand-up double in the first. He's working with 2 outs and no one on. First pitch to him finds the zone. Outside corner of the plate. Brendan Smith stands in the box at a staggering 6'5". Eastern Connecticut State University is where he plays. Next pitch to him just misses. Count's tied at 1-1. Listed as a junior for Eastern Connecticut State University. The pitch, a breaking ball, misses upstairs. Count is 2-1. Hudson has been dealing so far this inning, back-to-back Ks in the books. The pitch just misses inside. Smith had to move his left hand out of the way of that one. 3-1 count. Smith ahead. The pitch. And that one gets away from Hudson, and finding his way over to first yet again is Brendan Smith. The familiar face makes his way over towards first base as he is a returnee for the Doubledays. George Farley walked in this one. He's due up. Working with 2 outs, runner on first. Already off of first is Smith. Keeping him close is Mendola. The pitch. Squaring down a bunt, but pulling back is Farley. No movement, though, over at first from Smith. He's already off of first. A couple strides out there. Giving him a look is Hudson. Farley in the box. The pitch. Cuts at that one. But they're going to say it's a dead ball as it hit off of his leg. Count's tied at 1-1. George Farley, the center fielder tonight for the Doubledays. We talked about another player for the University of Rochester. Listed as a sophomore, .228 batting average for them in 35 games. He blasts this one left field side, but it is foul. I mean, he got all of that one just a tad bit early. Clearly has the power to put one into Port Byron if he wanted to. 1-2 count. Hudson well ahead. Looking at Smith. Kick steals the pitch. Strike 3. Down looking goes Farley. And that's a huge inning for Hudson, giving up no hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts, runner left stranded, 11-0. We are going to make our way to the top of the 3rd inning. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We're back for the top of the 3rd inning, making his way to the plate. That's the shortstop, Christopher Gonzalo. He wears number 1. He's a righty. First pitch to him is taken for a ball. Matthew Chofei still out there on the mound. A huge outing from him thus far. 4 Ks, 1 walk, no hits given up. This one's going to be hit over towards 3rd. Diving grab, but no throw over to 1st. I mean, what a play over there at 3rd base by Chase Moore to keep it from going into left field. But unfortunately, that's a runner on 1st base for the Red Wings. And that might get things going for Geneva with a runner on 1st. Due up is Michael Mucci, the 3rd baseman, the 9th batter wearing number 34, dealing with no outs and a runner on. The pitch to him, taken for a ball downstairs. That's a hit in the books for Christopher Gonzalo. And the throw over to 1st is not in time. Field umpire says he's safe. So the first hit of the season for the Geneva Red Wings comes in the top of the 3rd inning, thanks to Christopher Gonzalo. Throw over to 1st again, not in time. Chofei keeping Gonzalo on his toes. And then the first baseman over there, it's Michelson, doing a great job. And what a scoop there from the catcher for the Auburn Doubledays, Jake Benavenga, from keeping that ball from going to the backstop. That's a ball, but no runners will advance. Huge stop there from Benavenga. Chofei comes set. Kick steals the pitch. Same pitch and another great stop from Benavenga to keep the runner over there on 1st base. Mucci still up to the plate. The pitch finds the zone. Count should be full. Off of 1st already is Gonzalo. The pitch. And that's another strike. That's full count. Mucci couldn't believe that one. Home plate umpire does indeed signify that the count is full. 3-2 on the way, and there goes the runner. Doesn't matter, it's ball 4. Mucci walks. Gonzalo on second. And with that, that's time called by the manager for the Auburn Doubledays. As Josh Ailman is due up to the plate. He's the 10th batter in the Red Wings lineup. But let's take a moment and let's meet the Doubledays manager. That's Thomas Eatman in his first season for the Auburn Doubledays. He replaces Matt Petrosi, who was the manager last season. Looks like he's just going out there to calm down his starting pitcher. Not going to pull him. But Thomas Eatman spent some time with the Cincinnati Reds and the Kansas City Royals of the MLB. Has major league experience. Worked for the Muck Dogs, that's the Batavia Muck Dogs, and Geneva Red Wings of the PGCBL. Obviously, we know the Red Wings very well. He currently is the head coach of Daytona Beach Christian University. A few players from the Doubledays come from that college, so he brought them over to play some fun summer ball. But Ailman due up to the plate. First pitch to him is called a strike, and that's huge for Chofei to show that he can calm down when being coached. Runners on first and second. No outs. Ailman in the box. The pitch. This one's taken for a ball upstairs. Counts tied at 1-1. The pitch. And that's a breaking ball for another strike. Count is 1-2. Watching that one is Ailman. And Chofei would love a strikeout here. The pitch. And that one's taken for a ball. Count is tied at 2-2. Chofei is going to take his time before this next pitch. Kick around the rubber. Calm his mind. He has been exceptional, to say the least, so far through this one. The pitch. And this one's going to be chopped right back to Chofei. He'll go to second. They'll go to first. Not in time. Runner safe at first, but they get the out at second. That's a fielder's choice hit for Ailman, not ruled as a hit, but he's on safe. Mucci out at second. And advancing the third is Christopher Gonzalo. So runners on the corners with one out. And there's finally a familiar face for the Red Wings. That's J.C. Gamble. In the first, he grounded out to the third baseman. The pitch. And this one's going to be cut on and fouled. J.C. Gamble, lefty, playing left fielder, wearing number 29. The pitch. And that one's high for a ball. J.C. Gamble listed as a utility player. He's from Selden, New York. Goes to Florence Darlington Tech. Still looking for his first hit of the season. The pitch. And this one's going to be chopped on, but it's called a foul ball. Must have hit off of Gamble, ruled as a dead ball. So still runners on. The pitch to Gamble. And this one's taken for a ball. And so far, Chofei is struggling just a tad bit against the lefty Gamble. Chofei comes set, gives a runner off first. They look. That's Ailman off of first. The pitch. And that is a ball. No budge from the home plate umpire, giving him a rain of boos. Are the Auburn Doubleday fans. They are relentless here. The pitch. And this one's going to be chopped on and fouled. Well out of play. On deck is Noah Company after J.C. Gamble. The pitch. And that one is taken for a ball. Bases are loaded. Gamble doesn't gamble anything on that one. Watches that one for a ball. An impressive eye there at the plate. So he gets on first for the first time this season. Noah Company due up to the plate. All runners off their bases, working with one out. Company struck out swinging in the first. Would love a base hit here. The pitch. And this one's going to be chopped on and fouled and goes against the net over near the Doubledays dugout. That one was blasted towards the Doubledays dugout. Thankfully, they all got out of the way. 0-1 count. The pitch. And this one's fouled again just above the Doubledays dugout. 0-2 count. Umpire running out of baseballs. Here comes the ball boy for the Doubledays, giving him some new baseballs. Attaboy, ball boy. Coming set is Chofei. He's going to try the fastball here. Doesn't. Goes breaking ball. This one's hit down the first base line and just stays foul. Still an 0-2 count as staying alive is Company. Noah Company, we talked about, listed as a utility player from Eureka College. He's from Illinois as well. The pitch to him. And this one's going to be caught on. Goes back to Chofei. He goes to home. The throw to first. In time! What happened at first? It looks like they collided with each other. It's still ruled as an out. But oh no. Noah Company collides into Braden Michelson, and Company is still on the ground in pain. Let's hope that Company is all right. But escaping a jam is Matthew Chofei. Got the out at home. The lead runner got the out at first. And that will end the top of the third. We're going to make our way to the bottom of the third. We'll keep you updated on Company. But for right now, he is getting up. Trainers and head coaches checking on him. He seems to be all right. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We are back for the bottom of the third inning. Noah Company is okay after that collision at first base to end the top of the third. And due up for the Auburn Doubledays is the third baseman Chase Moore, who had a phenomenal play last inning. First pitch to him is taken for a ball. He hit a double in the first, got a stolen base towards third base and scored. Pitch to him from Hudson. Check swings at that one. It's called a strike nonetheless by the home plate umpire. If you're just joining us, it is 11-0 Auburn Doubledays here in the bottom of the third. I'm Evan Corocho. First home game of the season for the Auburn Doubledays. First game of the season for them. Swinging at that one and missing is Chase Moore. Geneva has yet to score a run. They did get some hits, though, last inning, but escaping a jam was Chofe. The pitch. And this one's going to be hit towards left field side and out of play towards the Doubledays bullpen. Doubledays bats were alive in the first inning. It was a 30-minute first inning. The pitch. Breaking ball upstairs. Taking that one is Moore. Home plate umpire signifies the count is tied at 2-2. Time is 7:37. Lights are on. Beautiful first game. The pitch. And that one gets away. Counts full at 3-2. Coming set is Hudson. Kick steals the pitch and check swinging at that one, but calling him out is the home plate umpire. Rings him out, says he swung, and that's a strikeout for Chase Moore. And that's the first strikeout here in the bottom of the third. And a huge strikeout for Nolan Hudson. The lineup will flip over, as this is the third at-bat for Jaden Madrid, the leadoff batter. He's 1 for 2 on the night, as that one gets away from Hudson there. But Madrid hit for a single, then advanced off of an error and scored in the first. Also in the first, grounded out to short. 500 on the season so far. Next pitch to him. Strike right down the pipe. Counts tied at 1-1. No one on, one out. 5 hits on the game for the Auburn Doubledays. And this one's going to be hit short towards third base. Throw to first is in time for the second out. That's a 5-3 put out in the books. And showing off his arm over there at third base is Michael Mucci. And with that, that'll bring up the second batter in the Doubledays lineup. That's William Ragland, the second baseman. In the first, he hit for a single and scored. And then also in the first, he walked and picked up a stolen base and scored. So he has got on every time and has been busy on the base paths, already with stolen bases. First pitch to him is outside in a ball. The Ghost Runners will advance. One 0 count, no one on. The pitch. And this one's going to be hit towards right field side. And drops, but it's out of play, foul ball. The whole right side of the infield and outfield ran over to that one. That was Josh Haleman, John Mendola, Noah Company, but none of them could make the play. They all synchronized, ran over there. Quite comical to watch, but none of them could pick up that out there. Count is 1-1 to the righty Ragland. The pitch. Called ball. That one must have just missed. Count is 2-1. The pitch. called strike. Breaking ball finds the outside corner. Count is tied at 2-2. Ragland set in the box. Hudson set on the rubber. Kick steals the pitch. Outside for ball 3. Ragland stays alive. Count is full at 3-2. Full count approach coming up the pitch. Ball 4 to the righty Ragland. There's the first runner on here in the bottom of the third. Ragland has gotten on every single time so far in this one. And with that, that'll bring up Colin Hogg. He's been on the bases today every single time. 2 walks, scored both times, picked up a stolen base. Working with 2 outs, runner on. There's the throw over to first, not in time to try to get Ragland. Off of first already is Ragland. The pitch. And this one's going to be roped into center field for a base hit. Going to third is Ragland. The throw into third is not in time. He's safe. Wow. Looked like William Ragland was going to be hosed out at third, but he avoids the tag with a swim move. I mean, what a throw from the center fielder, Dylan Briggs. It was a frozen rope, but it was not in time to get Ragland. And it looks like calling time is the Doubledays third base coach. He's going to collect the gear from Hogg. That's a single from Hogg, who advances off of the fielder's choice. So Ragland on third. On second is Hogg. Luke Curie due up to the plate. Wearing number 40. He's a lefty. Hit for a single. And wow, it looks like that will end the inning off of a pickoff move. What a way to end the inning. That'll do it here in the bottom of the third. And some confusion going on at home plate as well with the Geneva Red Wings head coach. I looked away for a second, and the pickoff move was successful. So still 11-0. Luke Wire doesn't even get any pitches. Pickoff move in the books to get Hogg, and that will do it. We're going to make our way to the top of the fourth. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We're back, top of the fourth. Young fans here just ran the bases at Falcon Park. A fun and common tradition. Keep the young fans interested in baseball. There was a lot of them out there for opening night. Always fun to watch. And still on the mound for the Auburn Doubledays, that's number 17, Matthew Chofe. He will face off against Andrew Hossman. Hossman wearing number 18. He struck out looking in the first inning. And if you're just joining us now, I'm Evan Carocchio. Scores 11-0. 6 hits on the game for the Auburn Doubledays. No hits so far through this one. There's 1 hit so far through this one for the Red Wings. Hossman up to the plate already. First pitch to him is taken for a ball upstairs. Some scores around the league tonight. Elmira playing Olean. They're up 8-3. Elmira showing early on that they are unstoppable. And some other scores. Jamestown Tarp Skunks and the Newark Pilots 3-0. Newark's winning that one. 3-0 already to Hossman. Hasn't seen a strike yet. Chauffeur's going to come set. Kick deal off the rubber in the windup. And this one's chopped on and a dead ball off the leg of Hossman. Like I said, Hossman is 0 for 1 on the season. Hossman from Phillipsburg, New Jersey, walks on 4 balls. He's going to make his way towards first base. John Mendola due up to the plate. Another strikeout victim to Chauffeur. Except for he struck out swinging in the second. 0 for 1 on the night. Already off of first base is Hossman. The pitch, and this one's going to be chopped on and fouled. Third base side, well out of play. John Mendola from LaSalle University, D1 baseball player from Holland, Pennsylvania. Chauffeur comes set in the stretch now. Kick steals the pitch, a breaking ball, and cutting at that one is Mendola. That one had phenomenal movement to it. The pitch, and this one's fouled back. Staying alive is Mendola. Oh and 2 count. Chauffeur well ahead. The pitch. That one is taken for a ball. Count is 1 and 2. Off of first is Hossman. The pitch, a breaking ball. Whew, that one just missed. I mean, his stuff has movement tonight, and it has been fun to watch. For Matthew Chauffeur. Counts tied at 2 and 2. Off of first is Hossman. The pitch. That one gets away from him. Count is full. Three balls and 2 strikes to the lefty Mendola. Giving the runner at first is Chauffeur. The pitch. A breaking ball. No call there, and that is back-to-back walks given up by Matthew Chauffeur. Mendola on first. Hossman on second. Due up Grant Ingram. He's walked in this one. Advanced to second off of a wild pitch. No outs. 11-0 ball game. We're at the cleanup batter position in the lineup for the Red Wings. The pitch. This one's fouled. Well out of play. Grant Ingram DHing tonight. A power hitter for the Red Wings. The pitch. This one's fouled back against the net. 0-2 count just like that. Ingram listed as a utility player, as we talked about. He's DHing tonight. Would love to get a base hit here to score some runs for the Red Wings. The pitch. Strike 3. Down looking goes Ingram. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. That's a backwards K in the books. A huge strikeout for Chofei to pick up the first out. That's 5 strikeouts on the game so far for Chofei, who is having himself a night. Dylan Briggs, the center fielder, drew up to the plate. He struck out looking in the second. Runners off their bases. The pitch, and this one gets away from Chofei and Benavanga, and both runners will advance off of a wild pitch. Mendola on second. On third is Hossman. 1-0 count to Briggs. 5th batter in the lineup for the Red Wings. Excuse me, he's the 6th batter in the lineup. The pitch. This one is cut on and missed. And Briggs swung out of his cleats for that one. Thought that one was wrapped in a gift bag and hand delivered to him, but just missed at that one. Counts tied at 1-1. The pitch. And this one's fouled back against the fence. Caden Couts will go after that one. The on-deck batter. So collecting himself on the rubber is Chofei. He's working with a 1-2 count, well ahead. Already has a strikeout in this one. Kick steals. The pitch. And that one gets away from Benavega. There goes the runner to home, and he will score with ease. A wild pitch scores the first run of the game for the Geneva Red Wings. Hossman scores from third. Making his way towards third himself is John Mendola. So, 1 runner on with 1 out, 11-1 as the Red Wings finally score. Dylan Briggs working with a 2-2 count. The pitch. This one is called a ball. Counts full at 3-2. Chofei just asking what the count is, trying to clarify with the home plate umpire. The count is full. The pitch. Ball 4 in the ground. Runners on the corners. Third walk given up in this one by Chofei. And just like that, the head coach for the Auburn Doubledays is going to make his way out to the mound. It's Thomas Eaton, the head coach. He's already made 1 mound visit. This might be it for Chofei. There is movement in the Doubledays bullpen. Let's see if he keeps Chofei out there. It looks like he is going to stay on the mound, and he will face off against Caden Couts, dealing with 1 out and runners on the corners. Eaton just trying to calm down his starting pitcher. He gives a sign to the bullpen, holds up 3. So I'm not sure if it's 3 more pitches and he's being pulled. We're trying to keep him to get 3 outs and he'll be pulled, but we'll see. But right now he's facing off against Couts. The pitch to him just misses downstairs for ball one. Red Wings making some noise in this one. The pitch. This one's cut on and miss. Counts tied at 1-1. The 1-1 from Chauffé on the way. And this one's inside. Almost clips counts. 2-1. The pitch. That one gets away from him. Count is 3-1. And taking time before his next pitch is Chauffé, who is struggling so far in this inning. The 3-1 on the way, and there goes the runner. This one's fouled. He's going to have to go back. Count is full at 3-2. Couch must have missed the hold sign on that one from his third base coach, French, as stealing was Briggs, but he had to go back off of the foul ball. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Down goes Couch. A strikeout swinging in the books for the second out. Getting out of this one would be huge for Chauffé. And Christopher Gonzalo is due up to the plate. He's wearing number 1. He's the shortstop tonight for the Red Wings. Still runners on the corners. There are 2 outs. And his last at bat in the third, he hit for a single. Then got out at home. The pitch. And this one's cut on and ricochets off of our press box roof up here. And will get tossed to the Doubledays dugout. The pitch. Breaking ball. Finds the zone. Count is 0-2. And just like that, Chauffé is well ahead in the count with 2 outs. Like I said, escaping this one would be huge. Off of first is Briggs. Off of third is Mendola. 0-2 count on the way. The pitch. Breaking ball. There goes the runner to second. The throw down. Not in time. Nearly missed. A beautiful throw from Benavenga and an exceptional tag from the shortstop there for the Doubledays, Jaden Madrid, but it just missed. And that's a stolen base in the books for Dylan Briggs. 1-2 counts. No damage done other than a stolen base. That is no runs, obviously, given up there. But Chauffé kick steals the pitch. He's going to focus on the batter here. He does give up a ball there, a tad bit upstairs. On deck is Michael Ucci. The pitch. Strike 3. Home plate umpire rings him up. Down looking is Christopher Gonzalo. And escaping yet another jam is Matthew Chauffé. His head coach and his teammates are meeting him out as he walks to the dugout. A huge end of the inning for Matthew Chauffé. And that keeps the runners on their bases. And that'll end it. A run does come in. It's 11-1. But Matthew Chauffé, have yourself a night. We're going to make our way to the bottom of the fourth for the Doubledays at-bats. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We are back for the bottom of the fourth inning, 11-1 ball game. Time is 8:02. Sun starting to set a little bit. A huge first inning for the Doubledays bats if you're joining us, but wasting no time on this one is Teddy Manahan. Excuse me again, I'm all messed up here, is Luke Wire. Apologize there. He rips that one into center field, but it flies out. That's an F8 in the books. He's 1 for 2 on the night. And let me correct myself here. Teddy Manahan is due up to the plate. He's the home run hitter on the game. The pitch to him, and that one's taken for a ball. Still out there on the mound is Nolan Hudson. Righty on righty duel. Teddy Monahan is 2 for 2 on the game. Hasn't had an at-bat since the first. Watches that one go by for a strike. That one is called a strike. That's strike 2. 1-2 count. And we do, in fact, have a pinch batter. That's number 32, Justin Batts, on deck. Filling in for Braden Michelson. Michelson's night is done batting-wise. Not sure fielding-wise, but he went 0 for 2 at the plate. 2-2 count still to Monahan. The pitch on the way. Breaking ball. Swings at that one. First base umpire says he did not go. And that should have been the correct call up here in the booth from my angle. Counts full at 3-2. Full count, 1 out. Pitch on the way to Monahan is taken for a ball. Ball 4. Monahan finds the bases yet again, and here comes Mr. Pinch Batter, number 32, Justin Batts. That's an incredible baseball name, if you ask me. Well, what do we know about Mr. Pinch Batter, Justin Batts? You know, he's a righty. He plays for Delaware State University, and he's from North Brunswick, New Jersey. In his time for Delaware State, he batted .254 with 3 home runs. He's still there. Already off of first is Monahan. The throw back to first, not in time, says the field umpire. Keeping him close over there on first is John Mendola. First pitch to Justin Batts is fouled back our way. Next pitch, no budge from the home plate umpire. Taken for a ball, counts tied at 1-1. This one's going to be hit short. And not getting that one is the third baseman. It goes to the left field for a base hit. Just missing that one is Michael Uchi. The pinch batter gets a hit. Good job there by Coach Eaton there to put in the pinch batter. The catcher is due up to the plate for the Auburn Doubledays. That's Jake Bentavanga. He's 0 for 1 in the game so far. Walked, advanced on a wild pitch, and then scored. Then he struck out swinging in the second. He's dealing with 1 out and 2 runners on. So up to the plate is Bentavanga, the catcher. He's going to face off against Hudson. Both runners off their bases. No one really keeping them close. The pitch, and this one's going to be cut on. Goes towards the shortstop. Throw to second is in time. Throw to first, not in time. Bats is retired, going towards second base, but safe off of the fielder's choice is Jake Bentavanga. So on first, like I said, is the catcher Bentavanga. Out at second is Bats. And on third base is Teddy Monahan. 9 hits on the game for the Doubledays with the 1 hit for the Red Wings. And we do have another pinch batter. Brendan Smith's night is done. That is number 1, Michael Ambrogio. He hits that one towards third base. Throw to first is in time. And that will do it here in the bottom of the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, runners left stranded, 2 pinch batters in places for the Doubledays batters. We're going to make our way to the top of the 5th inning. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We are back for the top of the 5th inning. Some changes out there in the field. Matthew Chofe's night is done. Ryan Petagrasso on the mound, working with a 11-1 score. Doubledays have 9 hits on the game. Red Wings have 1. Justin Betts over there on first base. Due up to the plate is Michael Ucci for the Red Wings. First pitch to him is taken for a strike, and we are underway here in the top of the 5th. Michael Ucci in his last at-bat walked and then was put out at second. The pitch, and this one is swung on and missed. Count is 0-2. Petagrasso working with a 0-2 count to the righty Ucci. Petagrasso from Canisius University, D1 school. He's from Lansing, New York. The pitch, and this one's going to be hit towards his second baseman, who gloves it cleanly. Throw to first in time for the first out. A 4-3 put out in the books for the first out here in the top of the 5th. Josh Ailman, 2 up to the plate, hit for a fielder's choice in the third. Got left stranded as well. I'm being informed here that if the Red Wings do not pick up a run here in this inning, it will be a run rule. 10 runs after 5. The pitch. A slider finds the zone. That one was disgusting. 0-1 count with 1 out. Doubledays pitcher's movement has been sharp tonight. Petagrasso comes, deals. The pitch. And this one's taken for a ball inside. Count is tied at 1-1. The 1-1. And this one's going to be chopped short. Running in is Petagrasso, the catcher calling him off. Throw to first in time for the second out. A laser beam of a throw from the catcher, Jake Benavanga, for the second out. Ailman is retired off of the 2-3 put out, and the lineup will flip over for the third time. And the Red Wings are down to their last out if they do not pick up another run. J.C. Gamble due up to the plate. The pitch taken for a ball upstairs. Count is 1-0 with 2 outs. Gamble 0 for 1 on the game thus far. The pitch. And this one's going to be hit infield. And out. Making the play was the shortstop for the Auburn Doubledays, Jaden Madrid. And that should be it. That should be a run rule. Let's see what's called, though, because it is 11-1. It looks like they're going to keep playing. So my apologies there. I thought it was a run rule, but it looks like both teams either agreed on playing or there is no run rule. But for that sake, we're going to make our way to the bottom of the fifth for the Doubledays at-bats. We'll be right back on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. We are back for the bottom of the fifth inning, and my mistake there. The run rule is 12 after 5 and 10 after 7. I jumped the gun. My mistake there, but hey, it's my first game too back in a while, so I make mistakes too myself. But nonetheless, there is a new pitcher on the mound for the Geneva Red Wings. That is number 13, Osei Sakota. Sakota, the pitcher from Bunker Hill, CC. He's going to face off against number 26, George Farley. Center fielder tonight, George Farley, is 0 for 1 on the game. He walked and scored in the first and then struck out swinging in the second. The pitch. That's a breaking ball. It finds the zone, and we are underway in the bottom of the fifth. Time is 8:17. 11-1 Doubledays. This one's fouled back. Doubledays have 9 hits on the game. Geneva has 1. Red Wings have 2 errors in the field, and Doubledays have 0. Counts 0-2 to the righty Farley. The pitch. And this one's going to be fouled out of play. So just like that, count is still 0-2 as Farley stays alive. And we have another pinch batter for the Doubledays. Chase Moore's night is done. We'll introduce you to pinch batter in a second. The 0-2. Breaking ball. This one's chopped towards third base. The throw to first is in time, says the field umpire. But Farley had some great wheels on that one. It was a bang-bang play. He just missed it, showing off his wheels. George Farley is out, and number 16, the pinch batter, is Zach Spurger. Like I said, Chase Moore's night is done. 5-3 put out to retire Farley. First pitch to number 16, Zach Spurger, is a strike. Chase Moore went 1 for 2 on the night, doubled, picked up a stolen base in the first and scored, then struck out swinging in the third. Next pitch to Spurger is a ball. Counts tied at 1-1. And what do we know about Spurger? Well, he's from Ithaca College, a junior. He's from Ithaca, New York. Had to travel pretty far, apparently, to his college. So taking his time before this next pitch is Sakota. Kick steals. This is a breaking ball that's roped towards third base yet again. Throw to first is in time. Back-to-back outs by the third baseman there, Michael Uchi, who is having himself a game over there at third base. Back-to-back 5-3 putouts for 2 outs. And with that, the lineup will flip over, and we have another pinch batter. That's number 7. We're learning his name as we speak. The pitch. This one's a breaking ball. It's swung on and missed. Counts 0-1 with 2 outs. Sakota kick steals. That one is a strike. 0-2 count. Sakota is dialed. Oh and 2 count with 2 outs. Sakota gets his sign from his catcher. Kicks, deals the pitch. And that's a ball in the ground. Count is 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. And this one goes in the ground yet again. Ragland's still on deck for the Doubledays. 2-2 count. The pitch. And that one goes in the ground. Count is full at 3-2. Sakota was dealing. Now back-to-back balls, given up by him. Sakota kick steals the pitch. Strike 3, down looking. Goes number 7, the pinch batter. No hits, no runs. 3 up, 3 down. A backwards K in the books for Sakota. We're going to make our way to the top of the 6th. We'll be right back.
Sure. So there is a run rule. I had the mindset of it's like we're only playing 7 innings. There's 9 innings, so it's 10 after 7.
Yeah, you're good. Welcome back into the top of the 6th inning here at Falcon Park. We've got a new announcer. I'm Ryan Story, stepping in for Evan Carocchio. You might have seen me in the chats, actually, as Evan was manning the first 5 innings, but I'll be filling in for likely the last 2, as the 10-run rule does apply through 7 innings, not 5. So if Auburn can shut down Geneva for these next 2 innings, they'll be done early tonight. It's still Ryan Pedigrasso on the mound for the Doubledays, with Noah Company up at bat. And the count has quickly jumped to 2-0 as 2 early balls for Company. Tough to miss the strike zone on him. He's one of the lankier batters on this Red Wings squad. Third pitch of the at-bat. This time right down the gut. Strike number 1 for Company's at-bat. Company batting second in the lineup for Geneva. Pitch hit. That's over to the second baseman, Ragland, tossing it over and not in time over to bats. So there's a safe base runner as it's a single for Company. Infield single. That was one where it looked like Ragland was going to be able to make the play in time, but just enough speed for Company. And now Andrew Hausman stepping up to the plate. Hausman up the righty batter with a runner on first. Pitch gets past the catcher Bentavenga, and now Company advances to second off the wild pitch. Andrew Hausman facing a 1-0 count
and a runner in scoring position. It just takes one scorer for Geneva to extend this game. They just have to make it 9 runs or less if they want to keep playing past 7 innings. Fouled off, Hossman gets the count at 1-1. Pedigrasso, since he came into the game, has not allowed a run yet. That was just the second hit allowed of the day. Auburn has not yet allowed a base hit off of anything outside of the infield. Everything hit outside of the infield has been caught by the Doubledays, just 2 infield singles. Count 1-2. Pedigrasso still looking for his first out of the inning. Looking for strike 3. Pitch way outside, evens it up at 2-2. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel, as we're here in the top of the 6th. Count tied. And way inside, in fact, behind Hossman. That'll load up the count. And so now a tough position for Pedigrasso, who doesn't want to get runners on first and second with no outs. Again, that runner in scoring position, he has to be wary of giving Hossman anything he can hit. Hossman bats third in the lineup for a reason. The payoff pitch is in. That's hit. In the air, getting to the outfield. The right fielder getting underneath it. That's a catch for Teddy Monahan. And we'll see the tag up over to third. So Noah Company makes it to third off the sac fly. But there is the first out down for Ryan Pedigrasso. That brings up the first baseman for Geneva, John Mendola, who swings and whiffs. Mendola down in the count, 0-1, and another pitch right down Broadway makes it 0-2. So 2 straight strikes. 1 swinging, 1 looking. That puts Mendola in quite the hole, and not one that Geneva necessarily wants to be in, with a runner on third, just 1 out. Really has to get the ball in play. That's exactly what he does. That's hit deep into center field. Farley getting underneath it. He'll have to make a tough throw in, and the tag up won't get there in time. Geneva has their second run of the game, and right now the mercy rule would not apply after 7 innings. Just a 9-run lead for Auburn, 11-2 in favor of the Doubledays. Grant Ingram now up to bat for Geneva, the designated hitter. Pitch right down the middle. That's ripped into left field. Another base hit. This is the first base hit of the night for Geneva that got out of the infield. That's a single over to Colin Hogg out in left field. On the first pitch that he saw, Pedigrasso just left that one hanging, and Ingram capitalized. Dylan Briggs fouls it off. Makes it 0-1 count with 2 outs on the board. Pedigrasso just wants to get out of this inning here. Already given up 1 run. The Doubledays still could end it early through 7 if they manage to extend that lead back up to 10 runs. But that's the number that they'll have to reach if they want to go home before the full 9 innings. That second pitch in there for strike number 2. So it's an 0-2 count. Pedigrasso 1 strike away from escaping the 6th. The pitch way outside. That seemed to be where Pedigrasso's been going on those 0-2 pitches, just throwing it outside, hoping that the batter is going to take a wild, desperate swing. Doubledays through this game have struggled a little bit with wild pitches, allowing runners to advance. Has to be slightly wary of that pitch. Low in the dirt, snagged by the catcher, Bentavenga, who's been brilliant behind the plate tonight. And it is ruled that he went down swinging. So that's going to be strike number 3. Interesting call there. And that will send the Doubledays into the bottom of the 6th inning with a 9-run lead. 11-2 Doubledays as we head into the bottom of the inning. Stick around for more baseball coming up next. Back here, bottom of the 6th inning here at Falcon Park. Geneva just scored in the top half of the inning to make it a 9-run game. Now Auburn looking to respond. It's Nacho Gonzalez with his first at-bat of the game as the pinch hitter. He'll be going against another player making their debut in this one. That's Josh Litsky for Geneva, the righty pitcher out of LaSalle University. Right down the gut, Litsky's first pitch is a looking strike. Litsky just finished up his freshman year. He had previously played high school ball at Cherokee High in New Jersey. Count now worked to 1-1 as Gonzalez lets that one go. Nacho Gonzalez. What a good name to have on the team. I feel like he's going to be one of the more fun players on the squad this year. Swinging and missing there as Gonzalez reaching a little bit. Couldn't make contact. So he falls behind to the count 1-2 in his debut at bat as a Doubleday. The 1-2 pitch. Liskey taking his time. Gets it high and inside to Gonzalez, spooking him a little bit. That makes it 2-2. As Gonzalez stepped out of the box, will step back into the batter's box. Liskey with a long time between pitches. Gonzalez fouls that off. So, Gonzalez resets. 2-2 count. Liskey gets him swinging as Gonzalez tries to check his swing. Can't stop it in time. The breaking ball fooling Gonzalez, who goes down swinging. Now, a pinch hitter for the Doubledays, Steven Ambrosio, up to bat for Auburn. We saw his brother Michael Ambrosio. Now it's Steve's turn. The twin brothers here on the Doubledays. Both go to Alfred State. Both finish up their first year there this past season. Ambrosio's first one is a big swing, but can't connect. Another righty-righty duel. We've seen a lot of right-handed batters in this Auburn lineup today. I believe they just had one lefty through their entire lineup. Here in the bottom of the sixth inning, we got one out. Doubledays lead 11-2. Pitch in the zone. That's strike number 2. So Ambrosio with his back against the wall. 1-2 count. Way high and outside yet again. On deck, it's number 40, Luke Guire, who we've seen display some power throughout the game today. Count even. Pitch inside, 3-2. The Doubledays have done a great job today of staying patient, letting the walks happen. And we saw that really plagued a lot of the pitchers for this Geneva squad. Whiting ran into a lot of trouble with that. Hudson also had some issues with walks. Sakota did a bit better, and Liskey so far has really stayed out of trouble. And this time we'll get Ambrosio swinging. He goes down. That's 2 straight swinging Ks for Joshua Liskey. But now Luke Guire steps up to the plate. The big lefty in the box. Two outs on the board for the Doubledays. First pitch, Guire lets it go. Wrong decision, strike 1. Second pitch. Guire falls behind. Patient batter lets that breaking ball slip outside. Count 1-1. Geneva will likely be able to see the 7th inning and more, especially if Auburn continues its scoring drought. The Doubledays put up 11 runs in the first inning, but have been blanked since then. As Guire falls into the 1-2 hole. On deck, a pinch hitter, Burt Maxim, looking for his Auburn Doubledays debut. It's a chopper over to the second baseman. Ailman tosses it to Mendola, out number 3 of the inning. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Josh Litsky, striking out 2 batters, forcing the ground out, taking us into the 7th inning with the Doubledays leading 11-2 after 6. Stick around for more Auburn Doubledays baseball coming up when you return. We're back here in the top of the 7th inning. As it's Kidden Coates stepping up to the plate. Still going against Ryan Pedegrasso, who has really not wavered despite that 1 run given up in the 6th. Now trying to answer back in the 7th. Pedegrasso has only given up 2 hits in his limited action here today. The starting pitcher, Matthew Chofe, gave up just 1 hit in 1 run. Quick 1-1 count as that second pitch finds the zone. Caden Counts, the righty catcher. He's had his fair share of action today. Doubledays have really been using their base running abilities to steal some bags, get all around the infield. So his arms had some action. Now we'll see if his bat can start to come alive. Fast pitch. That falls outside. 2-2 count. The count is now even. This is a big inning, and that's a big swing from Counts, but just cannot connect. Pedegrasso, that outside pitch, hadn't really been getting many batters to bite before that. Finally gets Counts there. Next up, Christopher Gonzalo.
Shortstop, number 1, Christopher Gonzalez.
The shortstop batting 8th in the lineup. Coming up against Pedegrasso, who today has been ridiculously efficient. 31 total pitches, 21 strikes. That's a ratio that really will favor the pitcher 9 times out of 10. First pitch finds the zone, and there we just see the consistency. Yes, he gave up 2 hits, and that ended up resulting in 1 run, but especially when you have this much of a cushion, throwing strikes is really going to be the key. Pitch just on the edge of the zone, catches it. 0-2 count. And it looks like Gonzalo wasn't thrilled about that call. That was right on the outside. I don't think ABS would have overturned that one, though. Pedigrasso struck out his first batter of the inning. Can he get his second one in the same fashion? Low in the dirt, doesn't go. So here in the top of the seventh, it's a 1-2 count to Gonzalo. Wind up the pitch. That's a blooper right over to second base. Steven Ambrosio flips it to bats. That's out number 2 of the inning. Pedigrasso making light work here in the seventh. As Thomas Eaton's going to make a visit over to Pedigrasso. Looks like he motioned to the bullpen. And I believe we have a pitching change here. Pedigrasso gives up 1 run in his Doubledays debut. We'll be back to you shortly with information on this new Doubledays pitcher. Stick around for more action coming up next. Back here in the top of the seventh after Doubledays pitcher Ryan Pedigrasso was removed from the game by Thomas Eaton after a pretty solid outing. Sid McKay makes his Doubledays debut. The righty pitcher also out of Canisius University, standing at 6'3". First pitch. His Doubledays debut pitch is a ball. Pedigrasso going against Michael Uchi. Uchi goes by many nicknames. Uchi, Michael Mucci. Just kidding. That's some of the nicknames or some of the names that we had for him in our system. But no, Michael Uchi is up at the bat, at the plate in a 1-1 count. Pitch outside. McKay just finished up his freshman year at Canisius. Originally from Ottawa, that's fouled off. But he's a big guy against Inns at 6'3", weighs 258, and something like that. You're gonna have a lot of power and a lot of velocity behind your throws when you're standing with that physique. Right on the edge of the zone, and you could really tell that the batter Uchi thought about going, didn't go, and McKay strikes out the first batter that he sees as an Auburn Doubleday. We'll head into the bottom of the seventh, still in an 11-2 ball game. Stick around for more action. Welcome back into the Auburn Doubledays YouTube channel. Score 11-2 in favor of the Doubledays, and just one run here will give Auburn the win here in the bottom of the seventh inning. It gives the Doubledays the run rule. Right now, they only lead by 9, looking to extend that up to 10. Up to bat, the pinch hitter, Bert Maxim, going against Josh Litsky. And that's a blooper single into center field on the first pitch that Maxim sees. Litsky, in his first time, in his first inning against the Doubledays, handled him with ease, going 1-2-3. Maxim changes the tone against Litsky. That'll bring up Justin Batts, another pinch hitter. He's been playing first for the Doubledays throughout the second half of this game. And that's going to be Maxim taking off the throw. Doesn't get there in time. Beautiful slide by Maxim to cover some ground. That's a stolen bag for Bert Maxim. Now Justin Betts has a runner in scoring position. And again, not to overstate the importance of that batter, but if Maxim makes it all the way around to score, that should be the end of this game. Justin Batts out of Delaware State University. He just finished up his redshirt sophomore season. That's a hit out into right field. Will the runner come home? Yes, he will. Bert Maxim making a play for home, and it bounces off the chest of the catcher, Caden Kutz, and we might be done here at Falcon Park. And yes, that's a Doubledays win as Auburn opens their season with a run rule through 7 innings. Justin Batts, the greatest baseball name on the team, sends Auburn home early with a single out into center field. Burt Maxim scores the winning run, and after being held scoreless after an 11-run first inning, the Auburn Doubledays clinch a 12-2 victory through 7 innings. Auburn putting together a great game here today against the Geneva Red Wings and opened their season on the right note. I've had Evan Carocchio alongside me on the call today. Evan, you want to go a little bit in depth here on how this? You called the first 6 innings of this one. Excuse me, the first 6 innings. Overall, what did you see from the Doubledays today? And especially to start off the season on such a strong note. What did you see from them both hitting wise, pitching wise, and their overall team, and especially under the manager Thomas Eaton making his Doubledays debut against Geneva?
They were hot right out of the gate, and that's basically what won them the game. That 11-run inning solidified their win. You could tell they had the momentum coming in this game. You could tell they had the extra BP today. You could tell they practiced the most. They look like a team. They look like a family. That's what won them the game. The pitching today, also absolutely phenomenal and so fun to watch. Every single pitcher had themselves a night. Chauffé, Petagrasso, to name a few, they were so fun to watch. Their movement tonight also got them strikeouts and won them the game. A phenomenal first game, one I'm very excited to be on the call about. First Doubledays game in the books, a beautiful summer night. We will see you on Saturday. Ryan, I'm going to pass you back the mic. Evan Carocchio out.
Yeah, thanks, Evan. Great analysis. And, I really look at this as, the win for Thomas Eaton, who's the manager of Geneva last year. A real revenge win, if you will put it like that, getting to knock out his own team in mercy rule fashion. But, yeah, the Doubledays start off their season 1-0 here in this beautiful night here at Falcon Park. The Doubledays will come back to you here at home on Saturday. We've got a game at 6:30 against the Newark Pilots. That'll be a fun one, hopefully with less technical issues. I know this was a bit of a rocky game for our first broadcast. We appreciate all 100 of you for sticking with us throughout this entire game, and we wish you a great rest of your week. Be back on Saturday with more Auburn Doubledays baseball. See you later, Auburn.